Good morning, students. So, we end up with the chapter Mathematical Finance Part 2. Today, we will start the chapter Linear Programming, right? So, a linear programming is one of the most frequently used operation research techniques. So, first we see what is a linear programming. Next, we move to its mathematical formulation. So, it is used in operation research. It used to allocate scarce resources in an optimal way so that the allocator can optimize the results in terms of maximization of profits or minimization of cost. Means linear programming is a way, okay, so it is used to determine so that we can use limited resources. Suppose we have limited resources with us and we have to use it in a very positive way so that we get maximum profit and minimum cost. Okay, means we have to spend less and earn more. That is the main theory, main concept or main motto of using linear programming, right? So it is first innovated by George B. Dantzig, right? He used it during the Second World War, where we have less resources with us to fight, and also at that time the food service are provided to the soldiers, so it can be used in that field so that limited resources can be used in a very proper way so that each and every soldier should get the sufficient amount of food, right? Now, meaning of linear programming. Linear programming is a technique which is used to find the maximum or minimum solution of a linear function of two or more variables subject to a set of linear constraints. Means in linear programming there is a function of two variables, right? Two or more variables may be there, but generally we solve two variables, and there is a function which we have to maximize or minimize. Okay, that function is called objective function. Suppose here it is given as z equals to px plus qy. Here variables are x and y and the constants are p and q. Here we have to maximize z or minimize z, and they are subject to some linear restrictions. There are some restrictions as we study here, that we have the limited resources and we have to use that in a proper way to maximize or minimize, means maximize the profit or minimize the cost. So those are called constraints. Okay, the word linear means that the relationships involved among two or more variables in a particular problem are linear, implying that the variables change proportionally. Means why we use the linear word? Because the relationships among the variables are linear. And programming means it is a process or plan to determine, means how we should use that resource. Okay, that is why the whole thing is called linear programming. The variables involved in a linear programming problems are called decision variables. Okay, and the inequalities in a linear programming problem are called constraints. There are inequalities in the linear programming. Inequalities mean greater than, less than. So it becomes more clear to you when we solve the problems. Now, requirement for a linear programming problem. Why we require it? The resources like men, machines, as we have discussed earlier, the resources like men, machines, money and materials at the disposal of all organizations, big or small, are usually limited in supply. Linear programming technique evolves from limited supply of such resources. Supply of resources being limited, the management seeks to find the best allocation of its resources in order to maximize the profit or to minimize the cost, to utilize the production capacity to the maximum extent, right? This is the main need of linear programming problems. Now, Subject to the fulfillment of the following conditions, linear programming technique can be used for optimization problems. There are some conditions. There must be a well-defined linear objective function relating to profit, cost or quantity produced. Means well-defined objective means z je ami porilu z to well-defined hobo lagibo. There must be constraint means there you cannot apply the linear programming anywhere. There are some conditions that should be fulfilled so that you can apply linear programming there. There must be a well-defined linear objective function relating to profit, cost or quantity produced. First one. Second, there must be constraints or restrictions relating to the attainment of the objective function. These constraints must appear as linear equations or linear inequalities in terms of decision variables. Okay. Constraints kita ki thakibo, inequalities o thakibo. Next. There must be presence of alternative courses of action leading to alternative solutions for the purpose of choosing the best or optimum one. All decision variables must assume non-negative values. Means jikita variables thakibo ikita non-negative means they are greater than or equal to 0. In linear programming, it is assumed that all model coefficients are completely known. For example, if x denotes the number of units of a particular product A produced, then AX will imply the profit earned from the product, where the coefficient of x denotes profit per unit of product A. A must be given or known, say A equals to rupees 10. The solution need not be in whole number. Solution to the whole numbers hote hobo lagbo tenuka condition 9, right? So these are the conditions. By fulfilling those conditions, you can apply linear programming. Next, basic assumptions of linear programming. Okay, means the following are the basic assumptions of linear programming. These are in fact the conditions to be fulfilled for using linear LPP. Mane ekita condition oke ami keneke yate koribo paru hekitai dia ase. Okay, now basic assumptions of linear programming. Linear programming is basic assumptions we have completed. Now we move to uses and limitations of linear programming. Linear programming is one of the most important and most popular quantitative tools used in operation research. It is widely applied in several functional areas of business such as production, finance, marketing, distribution, advertising, etc. In spite of having wide applicability of linear programming technique, it has certain limitations, some of which are as follows. So it has also uses and also limitations are there. In order to apply LPP, in short we called it as LPP. In order to apply LPP technique, the objective function and the constant must be expressed linearly. Okay. However, in real world business problems, many objective functions and constants cannot be expressed linearly. This is one limitation. Means the need of LPP is that you have to, your relation should be linear, but in our real life problems there may not be linear problems. Okay. In order to apply LP technique, the coefficients in the objective function and in the equations must be completely known and they must not change during the period of study. However, in practical situations, it may not be possible to state all coefficients in the objective function and constraints with certainty. Okay, so in linear equations, as we have studied, z equals to px plus qy, p and q are constants. So, constants should be certain for LPP, but in real life problem these constants may vary, then you cannot use LPP. To apply LP technique, there must be only one goal which is expressed in the objective function, like maximizing the value of the profit function or minimizing the value of the cost function. Linear programming will fail to give a solution if management has multiple goals. So this is one limitation. Means a linear programming problem only either it can be used for maximization or can be minimization for a particular work. Means either for maximization or minimization. But when a person or when a real life problem, when a management has multiple goals, means they want maximization also, minimization also at a same time, then LPP cannot be used. Okay, so these are some limitations of the LPP. Now we move to the mathematical formulation of the linear programming problem. So before doing the mathematical formulation of an LPP, we first study what is linear functions and linear equations. We all are familiar with these terms. Linear equations. Okay. Now, a linear function in one variable is of the form a linear function in one variable is of the form ax plus b, where a is not equal to 0. This is in one variable. In two variable we write it as ax plus by plus c, where a and b are not equal to 0. And in three variable we write is that ax plus by plus cz plus d. Okay, and so on. If a constant term is 0, then the linear function is called homogeneous linear function. Means if these are the constant, here c is constant, here d is constant, here b is constant. So if these constant terms are equal to 0, then these are called homogeneous linear function. And when we equate a linear function to a constant, usually it is equated to 0, then it is called linear equation. Okay, a linear function when equated to 0, means equated to any constant, but generally we equate it to 0, equated to a constant, usually 0, then it is called a linear function. So a linear function when equated to a constant, usually 0, then it is called a linear equation. It is called a linear equation. For example, if we equate ax plus by plus c equal to 0, it is called a linear equation. Till then we does not equate it with 0, it is a linear function, but when we equate it with 0, it becomes linear equation. Okay. Next we have this type of equation generally represents a straight line. Okay. For graphical representation of such equation, we get always a straight line. Okay. So there are some specific equations for which we get the straight lines. Those are, so the very first one is, what is the equation of x-axis? Equation of x-axis is y equals to 0. Okay. So why it is the equation? Because at x-axis the y coordinate is always 0. Okay. Now the next equation of y-axis is x equals to 0. Okay. So the equation of x-axis is x equal to 0, because here in x-axis, in y-axis the x coordinate is 0. And the equation of any line parallel to y-axis, suppose we have, this is our coordinate system, we all know, this is x, this is y. This is for y equals to 0, means x-axis it is for y equals to 0. This one is for y equals to 0, x-axis, and y-axis is for x equals to 0. Now if you have any line parallel to y-axis, suppose this is the line parallel to y-axis and it is at a distance of h from it, origin. Okay, so this is the equation for this line is x equals to h. Similarly, if any line parallel to x-axis and it is at a distance of k, then the equation of this is y equals to k. These are the various types of equations of a straight line. Okay, we also studied the intercept form of a line. The intercept, what is the intercept form? In intercept form we have intercept form of line is x by a y by b is equal to 1. This is the intercept form of line, where a is the intercept made by a line on x-axis and b is the intercept made by a line on the y-axis. Okay, so we have this as y-axis, this is y dash y x x dash. Okay, this is the first quadrant, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth quadrant. Here x greater than 0, y greater than 0. In this quadrant, x less than 0, y greater than 0. Here x less than 0, y less than 0. Here x greater than 0, y less than 0. Okay, so this is the all about the quadrant. So suppose we have an equation and we have to need a graph for this. Suppose we have an equation 2x plus 3y minus 12 equal to 0. How we plot it in graph? First we have to make it in the intercept form. In this form we have to convert it. So how we convert it? 2x plus 3y equals to 12. If you divide whole thing by 12, because in intercept in the right hand side you have 1, it means you have to divide it by 12. This implies x by 6 plus y by 4 equals to 1. Okay, so here we get a equals to 6 and b equals to 4, which is the intercept form. So this is the line which makes intercept of 6 units on the positive part of x-axis, means this is in the x-axis and this is in the positive part of y-axis. Okay, so this is the intercept form. How we know that 6 makes intercept within the positive side of x-axis? If we get this intercept a and b as positive, here your a is 6 and b is 4, they are positive. If your any number is intercept is negative, suppose you get a equals to minus 6 and b equals to minus 4, it means they form intercept with the negative side of x-axis and this is in the negative side of y-axis. Okay, so this is all about the linear function and linear equation. Okay, so in short, a linear function become a linear equation when we equate it with the 0. And now in the next class we will study the mathematical formulation of a linear programming problem. Thank you.